Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. In this video, I wanted to do a bit of a deep dive into the possible targets for this fifth wave, because I think this is really highly relevant. We can observe here an ascending triangle on the Bitcoin chart, but you know, there are different possibilities how the sort of lower degree wave count could play out here. I think everybody knows that now. We had enough time to talk about that in the different scenarios here in the short term. What I really wanted to do is to outline why I think we are not yet finished, even though we could be, but I think we're not, and what the targets could be for this fifth wave to the upside. But before we dive deeper into the analysis, first a few words about the sponsor of today's Bitcoin video, Chartprime. Chartprime is a service that provides specific TradingView indicators. There are 5 specific and unique indicators that you can only get through Chartprime if you sign up to one of their plans. These are based on quite complex algorithms and formulas and can be helpful in identifying trade setups, which means they can provide additional signals that could support your trading. Indicators can, for example, also be useful to support Elliott Wave counts to give more confidence. Of course, you don't need to apply Elliott Wave to use Chartprime, and the combination of their indicators alone can provide trade setups and signals as well. They currently offer a 30% limited time discount, so if you are interested in this, check it out. Of course, bear in mind that no indicator works 100% of the time. Here's an example of the Bitcoin chart with one of the range indicators. This indicator combines various indicators in itself, so you can adjust it to your needs, but it basically shows your range resistances, different support resistance levels based on different time frames, and it categorizes them based on their relevance. And this indicator provides you with dynamic support and resistance bands to which the price is reacting. And if you're interested in checking it out, make sure that you use the link in the video description and on their website. You can also read through testimonials and you can join their Discord community, which you can join in case you have any questions about how to use those indicators. So let's go to the 1 hour chart. Just wanted to zoom out a little bit, show you the movement since the beginning of this impulse, this green wave 1, possible wave 1. This could still be all part of a bearish correction. We talked about that extensively in previous videos. If you have a question about that, best to check my latest Bitcoin video that you will find in the long-term video playlist. We have an actual playlist in which I have long-term videos, and in the latest one I do explain why I think this could still very much be a part of a corrective wave pattern. But I can't repeat that in every video. I do that regularly, but I can't do everything in every video. Always try to give you the best possible view. That's why we started that long-term video playlist as well. But in the short term, this doesn't really matter. What is important is to see that we rallied here since November in an impulse. A wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3 to the upside, here a wave 4, and now in a wave 5. This wave 5, this last leg, this is this is where we currently are. And in this wave 5, if I zoom in a little bit, you can see what we did. We labeled this as a wave 1, 2 down here. Then we could say this was a wave 3 and we had all the subwaves here. Maybe we completed the wave 4 here yesterday and we are now ready to rumble in a fifth wave. Okay, now there are different possibilities how this could play out. And before I'm going to show you targets, just want to explain to you how and why. So it is possible to count this differently, and that's why it's so important not to get too confused about the subwave structures, because different scenarios are possible. And it just doesn't make sense and it's a waste of energy to put too much brain power into which one it is, because if you have 2, 3, 4 counts, they all adhere very well to the rules and guidelines as defined in the Elliott Wave method, and they all are valid, then it's all about, okay, we've got these scenarios, we've got these possibilities, the market is capable of doing that, these are the targets, what's my strategy? And what I can tell you, now we talk about the strategy at the end. So we've got 5 waves. We could say, okay, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could say we had a wave 1 finished here. Maybe this leg down was already the wave 2. And maybe we are now, maybe this was another 1, 2 setup, just a smaller one. 1, those should have been brackets anyway. 1, 2. And this is how we could extend much further, Then we would get a wave 3, 4, 5. This would only be this wave 3, 3, sorry, it's a bit ugly. we could have 4 and would still rally higher. That could take us above 30K. Yeah, it's the same story for Ethereum as well. Or, and another possibility, I just want to show you options here. Don't get confused, because all of these are possible. The only thing is, how do we get a strategy out of that? Okay, so this could have been a wave 1, here 1, and then A wave, B wave, and we come down once more in a C wave, retest those lows early last week. Could be a wave 2, and then we could also rally higher in this 5th wave, right? Have here wave 3, wave 4, and rally even higher. Could also take us to 30K. So there are different possibilities how the market could now unfold, and this is the story that's currently being written, and nobody's got a crystal ball. So we can only acknowledge these possibilities exist, and my primary expectation is the one that's outlined on the chart, that we just have here a series of 3/4s, and we'll rally directly, and we don't get an extension. But of course, we don't want to be caught out, and that's why I'm giving you these options, so you can develop the best strategy for you and your portfolio. And that's also why I would be careful with short trades at the moment. Yeah. Now, as you can very clearly see, if we zoom out a little bit, we've got 5 waves up. Yeah, which means just purely technically, the minimum expectation of this 5th wave is done. Why is that? Because it rallied above the 3rd wave. Whenever a 5th wave completes a 5-wave pattern above a 3rd wave, it's okay, you know. And we can make the case for 5 waves up in wave 5. So it's above wave 3, minimum complete. Yeah. Now, does that align with targets as well? Okay, so let's just measure targets. So we take the length of 1 to 3, go to the low of the wave 4, and then we get different targets here. Let me zoom in just to make sure that I have the wave 4 low here. Yeah, pretty good. Just go a bit higher here. You know, $1 or $2 doesn't really matter. So the very first target is typically for a wave 5, the 38.2 fib extension. That's at 24.7K in this case. We reached that. So we made a higher high against the previous high, and we reached a 38.2 fib extension. And this is the very first target for a wave 5, if it doesn't extend. Looking at the sub-wave structure though, I would still expect one more high at least. Yeah, because yes, I can count it as a 5-wave move up here in the wave 5, but it's not crystal clear. Therefore, I primarily would expect one more higher high. And that would take us to 26.7, 26.8K, the 61.8 fib extension. That's the next likely target, yeah, which would be my primary target actually. However, if Bitcoin finds its running shoes together with Ethereum maybe, then the next target would be 30K, yeah, and that would be very valid in a scenario where Bitcoin is extending, and we could then even go all the way as an absolute maximum to the 1.618 Fibonacci extension at 35.5K. Now that would be absolutely escalation, and it's possible, unfortunately. Yeah? Even though it's not likely, because why is it not likely? So these are the targets. Yeah, you might want to rewatch that. Now, why is it not likely? It's not likely that we extend because the wave 3 did extend. And if the wave 3 extend, we know that the wave 5 typically has a length that is similar to wave 1. So we're talking about the 38.2 or the 61.8 extension, all the way up to 26.7, 26.8K. However, I do fully acknowledge the possibility we could rally much higher, also due to the situation. If we look at the indicators on the daily chart and we take a look at the MACD and the RSI, we are not overbought on the RSI. We're not overbought. We're in a wave 5. We're not overbought. We're not, you know, we're only at around 60 on the RSI. That certainly has the scope to rally higher. These are the possibilities. Yeah, just we need to acknowledge those possibilities. And strategy-wise, what does that mean? So it means that, again, I did highlight that as well, but I want to add it in this video. Easy money has been made in this move. So the rally, basically, we are in a 5th wave, which means either way, even if it extends, we're sort of getting towards the end. We're in the last wave of a larger impulse, which started in November. Of course, it can extend, and they can extend quite a bit because it's the crypto market, and in the crypto market, Fibonacci ratios are extended because it's so volatile, okay? So because targets are measured based on the previous waves, and if the previous waves were very volatile, very strong, then those targets are large as well. That's typically why support and resistance areas are so large. You can't make them smaller, okay? In addition, that's why some people call the crypto market more risky, yeah, which it is, okay? But yeah, strategy-wise, I would certainly not be positioned on the short side here at the moment. I did say that for a while, you know, I haven't really been positioned here on the short side, and I don't want to be, also not yet, because this could still rally to 30, 35K, as we've seen, yeah. I would be positioned on the long side, but maybe take some positions off if if money has been made, because I wouldn't want to lose it all again. So for Ethereum, for example, I took some profits and I moved up my stop loss. Yeah, but I still want to be positioned on the long side. I do have some positions open, and I run several grid bots at the moment, which are trading these ranges very nicely. Anybody who had a Bitcoin grid bot, epic, yeah. So they do quite a good job in these ranges. Especially as it gives you too much headache to try to trade that manually all the time. But yeah, that's sort of where we are, you know, and I think just still leaving cash aside here for this wave 2 when it comes. Maybe it starts very shortly. Maybe it will happen after one more wave up, and then we get this ABC. But whenever we get into this wave 2 region, I will make you aware. And this is the area where I will add quite a bit to my portfolio. Long-term positions, trading positions, hodl positions. I will already add here, because this could theoretically be the completion already of this wave 2, so that we don't even get down there. And then we could rally, but if we don't rally, then this is probably just the B wave, and we come down lower. So this should really give you a good idea of what we can expect in the Bitcoin and crypto market over the next few days, weeks. It will be, hopefully the remainder of the week will be quite volatile. I mean, tomorrow we've got FOMC meeting minutes, and then we've got GDP data on Thursday. That's sort of, you know, not too, normally it doesn't generate too much volatility, but it still is something to look for, especially people will look, you know, watch that number because of core PCE, which comes just out a day after that on Friday. So yeah, there are a few important metrics that are coming out, which could generate some short-term volatility, and maybe have or maybe be the catalyst. Oops, that was the chair. I don't know what's going on here. That could be the catalyst to bring us out of this range. Yeah, okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.